Hello guys, I welcome us to Crypto Millionaire Bootcamp. This is our second bootcamp. We started last month in June, and this month it's much more repackaged, and just like we said, we are going to be giving out up to $200 in giveaway. We're going to be giving out up to $200 in giveaway. Now, the purpose of this bootcamp is to have our vision is to train up to 10,000 blockchain and cryptocurrency enthusiasts who have sound knowledge about the blockchain. So just like you saw in the advert, we have our course outline. We cover introduction to blockchain and cryptocurrency, how to identify the coins to buy, career opportunities in blockchain and how to get them, and also an introduction into trading for those of us who are looking forward to make money in crypto trading as well. You are going to be covered. Okay, so I welcome us once more to this our second cohort of our bootcamp. You all are highly welcome. So meet the pioneer. My name is Shedrack Ibo, the founder and CEO of Suffolk Crypto Hub, and which is a subsidiary of Suffolk Group, a Web3 educational platform with we have a vision to build future Africa through blockchain and new technology education. So what we intend to do is to create a platform where we can actually create a framework, okay, or a basis whereby young persons all over Africa can actually get acquainted with digital skills. We believe that in the future Africa can lead future tech revolutions. So that's why we are doing this. 4 years experience as a blockchain and cryptocurrency trainer. So let's just go a little bit over my portfolio. This since 2019 till present, I've been a volunteer for Wisdom Youth Foundation. Okay, I was a blockchain educator at that time. We also have when I served as a blockchain and crypto trainer under the office of the Senior Special Assistant on Empowerment and Human Capital Development, Enugu State, Nigeria. Okay, that was since 2020 to 2022. Then you can see this is I attended this event in Kano, Nigeria. Blockchain Founders Hangout sponsored by Adavice and Bitcover blockchain community in December 2022. You can see the guest speaker. You can see I and the founder, one of the founding fathers of blockchain in Nigeria, and also a very big mentor in the crypto space in Africa. This Chutachim is here. You can also see me when I was talking about our platform and what we are building on the blockchain. We have a number of things that we are building, and of course it's going to interest you as you join our community and remain with us as we build. Okay, this is me as the Enugu State regional manager for CoinW Exchange since 2022. This was 2023. This is CoinW affiliate meetup in Abuja, where I met with Sonia. Sonia is the global partnership lead for CoinW, global partnership lead for CoinW. Okay, so this is where I got featured. You can see that on the official this was my first time being featured on CoinW official page on Twitter, with also on their Medium account and also their Telegram channel. Okay, we were invited for this program, and we brought CoinW to give away up to $20 to about $5,000 in giveaway. Actually, $5,000 in giveaway to all the participants for the event. Okay, this is also where I was called to speak. Here it was a religious program, a Christian program, so I was called upon to talk about the applications of blockchain technology in religion. Okay, how can religion advance with blockchain technology? So what are the applications? And of course did justice to that topic. This was a program where I hosted CoinW in my alma mater, University of Nigeria, Nsukka. That was okay, leave this is a mistake. Okay, this was July 2023. Just last month, we held this event. 8th of June, we held this event, and these were the participants in the event. Okay, we also got featured on a blog for our impact in spreading blockchain and cryptocurrency education. You can meet our partners. These are our partners for now: Panvala, Roa Hub, Nigeria, CoinW, Cassava Network, and so on. We look forward for more partners as well. Okay, so we are going to start by looking at misconceptions. Okay, I love to start from this point because a lot of persons get it all wrong when you talk about blockchain, when you talk about cryptocurrency, when you talk about Bitcoin. Okay, because of past experiences. So this whole misconception boils down to the fact that when Bitcoin came to Nigeria or Africa per se, there were a lot of internet fraudulent platforms. Okay, the likes of MMM, you know, and a number of them, I can't really recall their names. Ultimate Cycler, then you have Crowd1, and so all these platforms got to use Bitcoin or cryptocurrency at some point, you know, to make payments. And when they crashed and disappointed people, you know, made away with a lot of persons' income, people were forced to, you know, believe that, you know, they were paying through Bitcoin, and that was our first time of hearing Bitcoin. So they kind of like feel that Bitcoin as well is a scam. Okay, so we are going to be looking at that misconception. Okay, so the first point of contact for many persons with cryptocurrency was through a Ponzi platform. Okay, so in my opinion, this wasn't the best time for the mass awareness of cryptocurrency in Nigeria and also in Africa because of the underlying circumstances which I just mentioned, which resulted to the great misconception. If it had come earlier, before the increase in online money laundering scheme, it would have been embraced with both hands. This is what my personal conviction on that. Okay, so we are going to go through some global, you know, blockchain adoption statistics, you know, just to tell us, you know, for those persons who might just be hearing it for the first time, so you have a grasp of this thing is not just something that somebody just invented yesterday, or, you know, something that is going to dupe you, or, you know, just some kind of crazy funny ideas that people have around anything that has to do with online. Okay, so this is the global blockchain adoption statistics. Okay, this year it suggests that the global crypto adoption is at the rate of 4.2%, with over 420 million crypto users globally. These are not just people who have heard; these are people who are actively using cryptocurrency. 420 million. If 420 million persons are already using a platform that is just, or using a technology that is just about 14 years old, I want to know what interested 420 million persons. What do you think? Okay, so this is Bitcoin owned by government and companies. So around 8% of the total supply of Bitcoin is owned by government and companies. That's about 1.6 million Bitcoin, which is roughly you know, during the time of this presentation, it was roughly $42 billion, which should have exceeded that amount by now. When we look at countries like El Salvador and African Central Republic, which have, you know, legalized blockchain as the currency's legal tender, so you can buy, it's now legal, you can officially use Bitcoin to buy and sell, you know, goods and services in the country. Then for payment settlement, over $7 trillion in value has been settled in stable coins in 2022, increasing significantly to $6 trillion, increasing significantly from $6 trillion in 2021, and of course $1 trillion a year before. So you can see stable coins in the blockchain. You know, stable coins are blockchain based digital currency for fiat. So you have USDT for dollar, UTC is also for dollar, USDC is also for dollar. Then example, NGN is Naira, Nigeria. Okay, let's go. Merchant acceptance of crypto payment. So we have over 30,000 merchants that accept Bitcoin payment globally. This is not just, you know, any kind of merchant, you know, not the merchant, not the retail traders you see in your street or your shopping mall. You're talking about those persons who, over 85% of them, have an average annual revenue of at least $1 billion $1 billion. So that's massive. So if this group of merchants are accepting crypto, of course I want to pay attention. I want to know what's going on. Okay, then we have a report from Visa that says its network has processed over $1 billion in crypto transactions in the first quarter of 2021, which increased to 2.5 billion in the second quarter of 2022. So this is an outdated data. You can see the amount here. 2.5 billion is not something small. Okay, this is just since second quarter of 2022. We've not gotten any of the update from them based on my research. Then we have blockchain being evident across all sectors in automobile. You can see Nissan, Hyundai, Koda, Lamborghini, Porsche, Ford. You can see in beverages, Heineken, and so on like that. You can see in clothing industry, fashion industry, Gucci, and a number of them. You can see in payment. These also fashion industry, these Instagram, these Netflix, these movie industry, there's Disney and YouTube. There are a lot of them. You can also see in sports. It will interest you to know that almost virtually the whole sports platform or clubs have their own token where their fans can interact with them, join in making decisions for the club and so on like that. But it interests you to know that Cristiano Ronaldo was the first football player to be paid in crypto, and he was paid with his club token PSG as at then when he was still in PSG. Okay, you can see them like that. Let's move. Look at the amount of money that's locked in the blockchain, about 48.3 billion. Total value locked in DeFi, this decentralized finance. We have 75% of retail US retailers. They are saying they plan to accept crypto payments within 2 years. This is a survey in 2022 by Deolite Survey. Okay, then we have over 230 billion in Ethereum Alliance ecosystem market cap. We have 1 trillion as at 2021, the all-time high of Bitcoin to that's $67,000. The entire crypto market cap rose to $2 trillion. That's massive. Okay, that's massive. 37.6 billion has been traded. Is being traded in the cryptocurrency per day. 37. This is nothing compared to the forex market. And we're getting there. This is nothing compared to the forex market. The forex market, about 5 to 7 trillion, is being traded every day, and the crypto market is just growing. Is just 14 years old. Okay, we have that 64% of professional investors hold digital assets. This is a survey by Cointelegraph in 2022. That's a long time ago. VC funding into the blockchain startup is way over $36 billion. Okay, so where investors are saying there is a headway, there is a light at the end of this tunnel called the blockchain and cryptocurrency. So they've been investing massively in the blockchain startups and the industry. Okay, following. Then the big question is, since all the top brands in the world has adopted blockchain or is accepting crypto payment, my question to you now is blockchain and cryptocurrency a scam? Your answer is as good as mine. Now let's dive into the main thing for the day. What is blockchain? Blockchain is a digital database of distributed ledgers among nodes of a peer-to-peer network of blocks connected in chains originally intended to timestamp digital documents, so there is no way to backdate them or tamper with them. So one thing you need to know is that blockchain is digital, which means it's not something that is tangible that you can see like paper money or whatsoever. Then the second thing is that is in a distributed ledger among nodes of a peer-to-peer network of blocks. Now let me explain that. Distributed ledger is talking about being decentralized, so there is no central authority that is taking decision on the blockchain. It is distributed, it is decentralized among different nodes of a peer-to-peer network. Peer-to-peer here means that it is connected. The network is connected. If I'm a miner, you're a miner, we have 50 miners, we are all connected. okay, of blocks connected in chains. That's where the word came from, blockchain. This block is just like a container containing information, because that's what the blockchain is. You can see what we wrote, a digital database. So blockchain is a database that contains information. So a block here represents, like, let's say a container of water, let's say a 20-liter container of water. Okay, let's use that 20-liter container of water. So that's what the block means. So in each block in the blockchain, it has a maximum amount of data it can contain. So whenever it reaches its maximum, another block is created automatically. So that new block starts collecting information, reaches its maximum, another block is being created, and each of these blocks is being connected in chains, in the sense that when you go to any block, you are going to see a history, okay, a history of the previous block. So it's that's how it's connected. So if you meet me, you can see, you can be directed to the person who brought me into this world. Like my father, you meet my father, you get to see something that directs you to, that links you to his grandfather. That's how it goes. And you can actually track the blockchain, a particular blockchain, back to its genesis block. Genesis block is the first block that was created. You can really track, if you have time, you can track the block, Bitcoin blockchain, down to 2009, when the first transaction on the blockchain was made. Intended to timestamp digital document. So the blockchain timestamp, when you make a transaction, once an information enters into the blockchain, the information is stored per time per block. Okay, we are going to see, when we look at hash function, we are going to see what it looks like. You are going to see an information like the time that transaction was made, the time it was confirmed, the block number that it is contained in. Okay, so it is done that way, so that there is no way to backdate it. So you cannot backdate the information that was placed in the blockchain 5 years ago. You cannot alter that information, because the technology makes that possible. You cannot backdate and you cannot tamper with them, which means you cannot alter them. So Satoshi Nakamoto invented Bitcoin in 2009. Okay, he adopted this technology to create the first cryptocurrency called Bitcoin. And let's look at what, okay, I've just explained this. A new data is entered into the block. Then a block is being created. Once a new data enters into the blockchain, a block representing the data is being created, then it's being distributed, broadcasted to the peer-to-peer network. Okay, then each node participant chooses to approve or deny a new block. Okay, so it's everybody that makes that decision. So if 51% says this particular information is correct, it is being recorded as correct. So one of the way the blockchain is being secured is that everybody gets to make an input, and it cut across different persons all over the world. These miners are all over the world. So for you to tamper with the blockchain, you need to hack at least 51% of all the whole computers in the world that are mining Bitcoin. We are using Bitcoin for an example. If approved, the new block is being added to the chain permanently. How is the blockchain secured? I've talked about the first one, which is the 51%. Then we looked at hashing. The hash function turns a random data or keys into a string of bytes, which is a fixed length and structure. In simple terms, a hash is a receipt or proof for that transaction or data that occurred and can be queried on the blockchain. Okay, so the hash, when sometimes when you send something and somebody says I've not seen it, it doesn't happen in the blockchain. You tell the person, I'm sending you the hash code. Okay, once the person queries the hash code, it takes the person to the blockchain. The person can see the time. You can see this is a hash. You can see the time, the amount transacted, the fee that was charged, the fee per byte, that's in Satoshi, that's the smallest unit of Bitcoin. You can also see the time. The time here says 9 minutes ago. At the time this screenshot was taken, it was 9 minutes ago. You can see the time, May 13, 2023, 1:55 a.m. You can see the block ID. This is the block number that this transaction is being contained in. You can see the sender. You can also see the recipient. So wonderful, so wonderful. Okay, that's so wonderful. Then we have the consensus. That's one way that the blockchain is being protected, the proof of work and the proof of stake. The blockchain consensus allows members who actively participate in the network to be rewarded, which is the only way to mint new tokens or coins into circulation. Okay, so we have the proof of work and the proof of stake. What it therefore means is that for you to get a reward, like in the case of Bitcoin, miners need to mine. They need to join in securing the network by validation of new blocks that enters into the blockchain. That's how they are being rewarded. So you can see that a miner gets block reward based on the amount of work per day. We have also proof of stake. Proof of stake now is I have 1 million Bitcoin. I'm now saying, okay, to secure this network, I'm going to stake this my Bitcoin. It's more or less like a fixed deposit. I'm not going to touch this Bitcoin for 1 year. If you're not touching it for 1 year, it therefore means that 1 million Bitcoin is not among the Bitcoins in circulation that can cause volatility. If I go, for example, I have about 1 million Bitcoin. If I sell, automatically it's going to cause a dip in the market. Okay, it's going to show in the chart that someone sold so much, this amount of Bitcoin. And so when you stake it, you are saying, okay, I'm not going to sell for 1 year, I'm not going to sell for 2 years, and as a result of that, you are being paid. Okay, you can also see this is just the difference so we also have peer-to-peer network. So each of these persons who are validating, they are connected using a peer-to-peer network, erasing any form of central management or control. Okay, so this is one unique thing about the blockchain. It erases a central authority, a group of 5, a group of 10, a group of 20 making decisions for the world. Okay, here everybody have the opportunity to make a contribution. Then we have properties of distributed ledger technology, which is what the blockchain is working on. One, it is programmable. The blockchain is programmable. It is secured. All records are individually encrypted. We have here that it is anonymous. The identity of the recipients are either anonymous or pseudo-anonymous. Okay, it is distributed. All participants have a copy of the ledger for complete transparency. Immutable. Any validated records are irreversible, cannot be changed. Okay, it is timestamp. I talked about timestamp, and it is unanimous. All network participants agree to the validation of each of the records. Sweet. Now let's look at blockchain applications and uses. Now let's start from money and value. We're talking about finance now. Okay, we've heard about what blockchain is. Now, when its application in money entails that money would be deflational, because there must be a proof of work to mint new money into circulation. You get to understand this when we talk about cryptocurrency. Transparency in government financial transaction. If every transaction can be queried on the blockchain, it means that we can hold government accountable. To the movement of money from one sector to another. Government spending. You can now track overspending. You can now track lapses. In financial transaction payment and so on like that. So even in your company or in your work system, that would also help to increase transparency. Tracking of government allocation on projects in real time. Okay, so you can also use it for tracking of government allocation and project. Transactions of money laundering can be erased, altered, or destroyed. So if, for example, somebody is involved in money laundering, he cannot escape it. If you stole money or something of that nature, all the transactions and record are on the blockchain. You cannot do anything to alter it. Then we looked at education. Now, I love giving this application, especially when I'm speaking to students. Okay, the platforms who are already building on this is Cardano, Edu, and Raka. Cardano, Edu, and Raka. Okay, now in this scenario, student ID or matric numbers will be registered on the blockchain. It will be like an address, just like your bank account, so to be like your address. So if this is possible, which is very possible, then it will be, we'll have that it will there will be inability to falsify certificates, because the blockchain can be backdated. Like in my country during the elections, some politicians were saying that they attended this school, they attended that school, and there was no way to really verify, because you can just go pay the head of department or the current owner of the school, and you can get your things being done. But when educational system is being embedded in the blockchain, of course you cannot go back to 1999 and say that you schooled in a particular school. You did not school, because when you try to do that, even if the present head of department or academic want to help you, they would only be able to say that you started school in that particular section, because they cannot even put you in the section before. That's one sweet thing about the blockchain. Now there will be no more loss of academic records, since it is in the blockchain. Once you put it on the blockchain, cannot be erased, cannot be backdated, and it will be there as long as the internet exists. No need of transcript, since it's available in the blockchain. This is just for persons who would go what will I say now, just for persons who would want to further their education, and they'll be asked get your transcript, and they'll have to go to be pay their school, or start going through the process of getting back their transcript, when it can actually be readily accessible, okay, on the blockchain. So you just be to send your details to that particular school, and of course they will get your transcript automatically from the blockchain. Then we have its application in digital identity. We have name service, we have space ID, working on that. Digital identity for every human on the blockchain. So every time a child is being born, he's being given a digital identity. Is his name, the father's name, the mother's name, the village, the origin, the place of origin, everything is embedded on the blockchain. So it therefore means that there will be as people grow every, there will be high level of tracking. There will be so much high level of tracking individuals. You cannot go and easily change your identity or something of that nature. Then erases election data, erases election malpractice such as overvoting. So if everybody have singular digital identity, you cannot vote twice, because of course it's going to be a red flag in the system. Enable vote from home technology. So if this is possible, I know I cannot vote twice, so I can vote from anywhere I am in the world. We have its application in medical record. This will help in real-time access of medical records anywhere, anytime. Inability, sometimes some people will travel abroad and they fall ill, and they will need medical records, and all those things might not even really be readily accessible. But if it's in the blockchain, tied to your digital identity, one can easily, once they have access to your digital identity, your medical records can just come up in real time. Then inability to falsify previous medical record already stored in the blockchain. Like we all know, one characteristic of the blockchain is that it is immutable and you cannot backdate or falsify it. Real-time tracking and verifying of medical products. So this can also work in medical products, like in pharmacies where they get to produce drugs. Like in my country, for you to know the original product, you need to look at the back of the medical product, scratch a code and send before you get a validation that this particular drug is the original or something of that nature. But when we have blockchain where you can trace supply chain, of course you can really have these things in real time. Okay, you can really have this in real time. Then we have intellectual properties, that's removal of middlemen in the supply chain of royalties, like musicians, celebrities, that get royalties and stipend from their fans and community members. We are removing Near Protocol is doing this. Okay, if I do not indicate that Near Protocol is doing this big time. They are removing middlemen. Like They're just removing them from the chain, because these celebrities or these superstars, they can actually get the actual royalties they are getting from their customers. So platforms like Spotify will need to go back and look at their business model once again. So you creators fully own their creation without fear of piracy, using non-fungible token and all, called NFTs. Then we have industry and supply chain, real-time tracking of the supply chain, transparent and immutable record, cutting costs by identifying waste point along the supply chain. So many platforms are already doing this. About 3 platforms that I know. Creating interoperable data across practice, digital agreement documents shared are backed by the blockchain. Okay. Then we have tokenization. This is the process of substituting sensible data element with non-sensible equivalents called tokens. That's what tokenization is all about. So what's its application in cryptocurrency? Now, use cases of tokenomics, we have just one use cases here. Digital mapping of land. Okay, we are just looking at real estate. Digital mapping of land. Okay, so you can use Google to actually map a land and embed that information on the blockchain. We have this already happening in my country, in Lagos, Nigeria. Fragmentation of real estate assets tradable in the open market. So for instance, if you own a duplex and list it, or in the open market, anyone anywhere can actually become a share owner of the house with any amount of choice, and it can be spent whenever he or she pleases. Okay, so let's say for example you have a piece of land, an acre of land, maybe you don't even have money to develop it. You can now decide, okay, I want to tokenize this my 1 acre of land. I'm going to tokenize it into 1 million pieces, such that 1 unit of that 1 million pieces would cost $10. Okay, will cost $10. So I can now say, okay, I'm opening it to the market. If you want to buy this, the sites, you can look at it. You can even create a metaverse experience where people can actually come and look at the land and see their portion or whatsoever, something of that nature. But even if you don't divide it into portion that people can just know, okay, this is what I have, you can tokenize it such that, okay, people can now buy $10 times 1 million. That's about 10 million. So you can use your $10 million or 10 million naira to develop the land, and each of those persons who bought the token have a share right when the price appreciates, of course, and they can also sell it at any price that they want. So now let's go into what most of us like: cryptocurrencies. Cryptocurrency is a decentralized digital currency using cryptography for its security. It operates independently of intermediaries such as bank, payment processors. Okay, so that's cryptocurrency is just an application of blockchain that has to do with finance. Okay, now, is cryptocurrency reinventing the wheel? Are we trying to, why are we trying to form a new currency? What's the reason behind cryptocurrency? Now, here we get to see that fiat currency that we all know, that's the paper money. To me, it used to be real money until 1971. We won't really go details and start looking at money. Okay, it used to be real money until 1971, when President Nixon gathered some world leaders and said, let's remove money from the gold standard, which initially, now you're not actually, so what is gold standard? Gold standard is actually a standard that mandated banks not to print more than the gold they have in their gold reserve. Let's say the central bank of my country have $1 billion in the worth of gold. They cannot print more than 1 billion paper notes. Okay, that's what the gold standard means. Okay, now they remove money from the gold standard, which initially mandated banks to do what I just told you, now making central banks to begin to print money out of thin air. So they're just printing money. So about last year, my president was like, okay, we don't have enough money to pay workers. Central bank print money, and they print billions of naira and they use it to pay salary. Where is it coming from? That's why when we're looking at blockchain, we talked about proof of work, proof of stake. There must be work to be done for you to get value, because what you're actually printing is value. It's something that we all agree that this thing is valuable. So you're printing it out of thin air, just to distribute, of course. Wow. Okay, that's why fiat money is now called inflationary currency. Okay, it's called inflationary currency. Okay, now let's look at the difference between fiat currency and cryptocurrency. One is that fiat currency centralized, issued and controlled by law and the bank. Cryptocurrency is decentralized, not controlled by any government or entity. Fiat currency is an inflationary currency, which means it reduces in value. Okay, what you got for $1,000 last 2 years, you might not be able to get it for $1,000 this year. But cryptocurrency, a deflationary currency, which means it increases in value in the worth. Okay, its worth increases. Now, the fiat currency has borders. It has jurisdiction within a country, but cryptocurrency is borderless. I can send Bitcoin to anywhere in the world. One Bitcoin here is one Bitcoin in Australia. It's one Bitcoin anywhere in the world. Okay, but maybe 1,000 naira here might not be the same thing in London, might not be the same thing in UK, just because of exchange rate. Then we also have high production and maintenance costs. What actually shocked us some years ago that I discovered is that it costs more money to print money. Okay, some months ago, our central bank governor told us that they use 48 billion naira to print 2 billion naira notes. Can you see the difference? Difference of 46 billion. What's that? Okay, high production and maintenance costs. We have low production and maintenance costs. Involves trust in the system, but cryptocurrency is a trustless system. That's why in the crypto space they tell you don't need to trust me. You don't need to trust me. Okay, you see, trust the code, not me. Okay, just trust the code. As long as the code has been audited, trust the code. Okay, high hidden and high transaction fees. Of course, before now, if you want to send money across borders, even now, you pay very, very high fee. No hidden, low transaction fee. Everything is made plain. Everything in the blockchain is made plain. If you query the hash code, you are going to see everything. Okay, we now have closed. It's closed and not transparent. Of course, here is open and transparent. Value is determined by market regulators. Here, value is determined by supply and demand. So if people want more Bitcoin, they feel that this Bitcoin would, is a store of value, they are going to get it. Okay, so that's how the price gets to increase. Represented by bills and coin, represented by one private and one public piece of code. Limited supply, unlimited supply, the government can produce as needed or as they wish, not really as needed. Limited supply, which cryptocurrency house sets maximum. Okay, now the price of cryptocurrencies are determined by the supply and demand of their minimum viable product. Minimum viable product here means what do they have to offer? What do they have to offer? That is to the degree to which the product and services are needed. Okay, I do this. Okay, how many people need this? You see, are you actually solving a product for just kids? Are you solving a product for just married people? Are you solving a product for just adults? Are you solving a product for the world? Of course, somebody who sells food is solving a problem for whether you're a child, adult, or married. Okay, needed, desired, and the number of people demanding it. That's basically how cryptocurrency works. Then now we brought this in this in this bootcamp to put us in flames, or let me say put us a little bit under pressure to see the need to do something now. Okay, in every stage of adoption, this is just an adoption cycle we have. innovators, we have the early adopters, we have the early majority, we have the late majority, we have the skeptics, which we call laggards. Okay, so Bitcoin is currently here at the pragmatics, okay, the early majority. So people are saying, okay, wow, they are buying into this, institutions are investing, there is a lot of things people are talking about. And if you look at the curve, this is where you can actually get returns. Okay, some persons were visionaries, who adopted Bitcoin from maybe the first 10 years of its existence. Okay, those guys are on money. Wow, they've made a lot of money. Okay, but now we are in the early majority stage, which you can still make money. Okay, there is currently a bear market. The bear market means that a decline in the price. Bitcoin declined from $67,000 to around $15,000, and it's currently trading at 30. And we're about entering another bull run. The last time such a thing happened was in 2017. Bitcoin declined from $19,000 to $3,000 in 2019, and from $3,000 it went to $20,000 by December 2019, and it went to $67,000 in May 2021. Of course, we are not talking about stories, we're talking about something that is real. Okay, so this is why we place this in here, so you know the urgency with which you need to take action. And okay, we've talked about this. Now, career opportunities in the blockchain space, we have people who are developers. These are people who really build the system, the front end and back end developers. We have the blockchain engineers as well. So we are bringing this in this section, so you can actually decide which you can actually see opportunities. You don't need to change a career. Let's say you're a data analyst, you can just come into the blockchain space and still be a data analyst. You are a graphics designer, you can still be a graphics designer in the blockchain space. You are just changing industry. Okay, so we have about compliance. These are like lawyers, legal practitioners who, let's say they are the intermediaries between governments, regulation, policies, and so on, and those actors who are actually involved in the blockchain space. We have business operations, like project managers and data analysts. We have ambassadors, brand, contract, state and campus ambassador. Like I've been an ambassador of like 3 crypto exchange, and I'm currently with CoinW. We have human resources, recruiters, talent acquisition. We have financial administration. These are people who who do the money things. Okay, so we have sales and marketing, community managers, influencers, product marketers, journalists, YouTubers, customer service, growth marketing lead, and so on. Okay, these are people that promote. They help in increasing sales, they help in increasing community, they help in marketing as well. Then we have the content creators. These are people that pass on the mind of the team or the mind of the company to their end users. Okay, like the content writers, NFT creators, bloggers, copywriters, video presenters, and so on. They all fall under this place. Then we have the design, the UX UI designers, the graphics designers, and so on. Then we have people who we call researchers. These are people who want to know what is currently happening in the blockchain space. If A, B, C, D happen, what will happen next? What are the future trends? What are the future industry that will get more attention? Is it metaverse? Is it NFT? Is it play to earn? Is it a lot of things? These are people who do a lot of research, do a lot of statistics, and come out with insights that can actually help the company, or to help individuals, or to help the general public as well. How to get these crypto jobs? One is being involved in the blockchain space, have good introductory knowledge of blockchain. Take a course. We have a free course on introduction to blockchain and cryptocurrency. You can check that on our YouTube channel. That's our blockchain newbie kit. Okay, yeah, that's it. Follow the trends in the field you want to work. Follow the trends. If you want to, like, I'm a blockchain educator, I'm a trader, so this is where I focus on. I want to know people who are in that field, and I follow them. Be familiar with crypto terms and language so you'll not be lost. Develop yourself in the field you want to work. Of course, you need to take courses, you need to volunteer, you need to take internship, and so on, like that. Build a public crypto profile and engage with trends online. People need to know you. Okay, who will employ you when they don't know you? You need to be building in public. You can see what the initials I showed you before we even started this class. Of course, I'm selling myself to you. You need to build in public, like this section. Of course, I'm going to talk about it on social media. Network and attend blockchain-based events. You've seen that. I just shared with us just a little among the blockchain events I've attended, people I've met with, people I've networked with. Both online, you can say you don't have money to go there, but you can actually join virtually. Okay, have an amazing CV. And an amazing CV can come from your portfolio, what you've been doing at events you've attended, and your network. Get experience, and you can do that by volunteering. Okay, start by volunteering or getting internship. Now we also put this here to help you understand what you're talking about. Returns on investment for top cryptocurrency. We just put Bitcoin and Ethereum here. Now Bitcoin has yielded 56 million %. Can you imagine that? 56 million % from its all-time low of 34 naira. 34. Okay, I use naira because I was actually addressing Nigerians. 34 naira on July 4th, 2010. Okay, to an all-time high of 48 million. Can you see 34 naira to 48 million? That's massive. That's massive. That means a 10,000 naira investment. 10,000 naira investment is approximately $12. Okay, can actually give you 290 units of Bitcoin as at July 4th, 2010, and it's currently trading at over 18 million. Do the math. Okay, the same thing with Ethereum, over 430,000% increase. This is massive. This is just the beginning. Analysts are predicting 100k price for Bitcoin by the end of next year. You want to get involved, you want to know how to do it, stick with us. Okay, investment opportunities in the blockchain and crypto space. Invest in. Okay, what are the investment opportunities? Invest in low cap cryptos, just like we showed us earlier. Somebody who bought Bitcoin at 34 naira and it went as high as 18 million. That's crazy. That's crazy. Crypto staking. We talked about staking, where you can stake your tokens to get reward. We talked about yield farming. Yield farming is also an opportunity, and liquidity providers as well. This is in decentralized finance. Okay, we talk about crypto mining. A lot of persons make money from mining crypto. I made money from Pi and a number of other mining projects. I would advise you, of course, if you see a good mining platform, of course you need to do that. Then we have airdrop. Airdrops are just like freebies, usually given to help the company in publicity and awareness. So of course, a lot of persons, like in ARB that happened this year, some persons got $20k, $5k, and a number of them just free money. That's called airdrop. Then we have crypto trading. So that's, of course, on the last day of this bootcamp, we'll be looking at crypto trading. We said we are going to be doing giveaways in this section. So what I want us to do is to go on our social media page. You can get us on Sophie Group, or go to my personal page. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, I'm on LinkedIn. Okay, I'm also on Twitter. You can go to my personal page and comment. I share this event on each of these handles. You can go there and comment. Tell us what you learned in today's section, and we are going to select one person who is going to win a prize by tomorrow. Thank you for staying up to this end. We wish you a profitable experience in this crypto space. Or if you have any question, drop that in the comment section for us to attend to it. Thank you so much. I remain Shedrack Able, founder and CEO of Sophie Group, and we are here to make this stick with you. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.